How do you perform a land title survey of a parcel that doesn't exist yet? Seems like an odd question, doesn't it? But we're going to answer it. We're going to answer it in this video, I hope. So what is a land title survey? Just a quick review. It's a special type of survey that a surveyor does to identify potential boundary or land title issues with a parcel. And it's usually required by the lender and the title insurance company. Okay, and the surveyor has to meet a special spec when he's doing that kind of survey. People also call them Alta surveys. Okay, so why would you ever need an Alta survey or a land title survey of a parcel that doesn't exist yet? When would that come up? It's most frequently when you're going to do a lease parcel. So I ran into this a lot in the Bay Area where there was a military, federal land, typically military, that was being redeveloped. And there's rules about when the federal government can dispose of land. So a lot of times what they'll do is they won't sell it in fee. They'll issue 99-year leases on the federal land. And so when you're going in to redevelop like an airfield or a military base, these developers will get these 99-year leases. And well, there's not a parcel yet, right? So there's going to be a parcel. There's going to be a lease parcel, but there isn't one yet. You could also have a similar thing like if you're doing a cell phone tower or some other type of facility that was going to be on a lease. There may be other situations where a parcel doesn't exist yet. Maybe you're doing a proposed subdivision, you're trying to line up some financing, and people want to get a real good look at what you're proposing, and you want to get the financing and the title insurance issues all dialed in before you move forward with the project. So what I want to do is describe this process. So you have a parcel that doesn't exist yet. You've got an idea where it goes. And you want to get a land title survey on that proposed parcel. So what's the process? So I'm gonna walk you through these steps. Let me count them. I think I've got 8 steps here, okay, that you can follow. So very first thing you do, you get a survey of the boundary of the parent parcel. Okay, so whatever existing parcels are going to be impacted by the new parcel, you need to get a good boundary survey of those. Second, you need to map all the easements on the parent parcels, which means you need a land title report for each of the parent parcels. Get a good title report. Find out where those easements and encumbrances are and map those, okay? Then you're going to do a topo survey of the parent parcels. Whatever parent parcels are impacted by the lease parcel, you're going to do a topographic survey, okay? You're going to need that topo survey for 2 reasons. You're going to need it for the design of whatever's being built on the proposed lease parcel, and you're going to need it to identify boundary and land title issues on your land title survey. Okay, so you're going to do your topo survey. Okay, step number 4. You're going to work with the design team typically to determine where does the lease parcel need to go. Okay, and usually there's some kind of design. There's a footprint for the site improvements and a building typically, and the utilities. And now you as a surveyor are going to work with the engineer and the architect. You're going to figure out what does the footprint of this lease parcel need to be. What's going to be an easement, what's not going to be an easement, right? Where the lease parcel boundary is going to go. So you determine that. Okay, then you go back through your mapping of the parent parcels and you figure out what encumbrances impact the lease parcel. It's going to be some subset, right, of the encumbrances on the parent parcel are going to impact the lease parcel. Then you send an exhibit to the title company that shows the proposed lease parcel, right, and the encumbrances that impact the lease parcel, and you ask them to issue you a new title report for just the proposed lease parcel that only has that list of encumbrances, right? And the title company needs your help as a land surveyor because all they know is the list of encumbrances that impact the parent parcels. They don't know what's going to impact the lease parcel. They need you to tell them that. So you give them an exhibit, they look at it, they issue a new title report for just the proposed lease parcel, right? Now, in order to do that, the other thing they're typically going to need is they're going to need a land description. So you have to actually go in and write a land description for the parcel, typically meets and bounds, okay? And you're going to give that to the title company with your exhibit, okay, that shows the encumbrances that impact the lease parcel. They're going to use your land description. They're going to put it in the title report as the insured parcel, and they're going to use your exhibit to figure out what easements and encumbrances need to go as exceptions to the policy, and then they're going to issue that title insurance report, right, to you and the client. Okay, now that you have the new report, you can go in and do your land title survey on the proposed lease parcel using that report and that land description that you prepared for that report. That's the process to do a land title survey on a parcel that doesn't exist yet. Now, you'll notice we didn't do the land title survey till the very last step, to step number 8. The other 7 steps you got to do before you can actually get to the land title survey. So this is more work than a traditional land title survey. It's going to be more expensive than a traditional land title survey. It can be done, but there is a process that your surveyor needs to follow, and you need to understand that process takes more time and it takes more money. It's a little more convoluted. But You can do land title surveys on parcels that don't exist yet. I've done several of them. They're used a lot when you're dealing with lease parcels instead of fee parcels. Keep that in mind. It's a tool in your toolbox.